I had never considered anything other than being a doctor because I had this one-track mind to get to medical school, but I realized that there are a lot of ways to get the things that I wanted in life. Good morning. You're still sleepy. You're still so sleepy. I decided that for this video, I'm going to just like combine it with a vlog. It's gonna show you my day. It is currently almost 7 a.m. Luke already left for work and I put an oil mask in my hair last night, so I'm gonna wash it out. But I'm just gonna take you along my day and also talk about why I decided to switch from becoming a doctor to becoming a PA. I'll leave little timestamps for you just in case you're literally just interested in the explanation and not like my life. But I thought it would be a nice ease into both because I've really been putting off vlogging, even though like I have a lot of moments in my head where I'm like, yeah, that's a good vlog idea. That's a good vlog talk, but it just doesn't happen. So let's get to it. You know what's interesting is I wear this outfit a lot. I think I wore this outfit in the last YouTube video that I ever made, or maybe it was a different one, but like I remember wearing this when I was talking about my indoor garden, which I have since taken down because I just couldn't maintain it and there were a lot of bugs and I was getting really frustrated. So it wasn't like the product itself, it was just me. I want to start off by saying that I didn't switch my career from RD to PA. I originally wanted to be a physician from the get, from like when I was younger, like when I knew that being a millionaire cowgirl veterinarian wasn't really in the books for me, nor like really what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go into medicine. I was exposed to medical missions when I was really young with my dad and his doctor friends. And I was just in awe of how a little bit of knowledge, empathy, and compassion could go a long way. Hundreds of people would line up who didn't have access to or could afford medical care in Mexico and just came to this free clinic every first Saturday of the month. And I just thought it was awesome. I wanted to be part of it. You want to go potty? She's been pretty good at house training so far, but it's just because I've been very vigilant and attentive. I think that's a big part of it too. Anyway, I didn't like switch careers from being a registered dietitian to wanting to go into medicine. I've always wanted to go into medicine. It wasn't until I started to learn more about preventative care and chronic illness, as well as the impact nutrition makes, that I wanted to learn about nutrition as my undergrad instead of chemistry or biology. Like those things are important, but I'm not like super passionate about them. But I am super passionate about nutrition and how you can change your life with what you eat. That's why I went into nutrition, just like as an undergraduate, but then the program that I went into ended up being coordinated, so then I ended up becoming a registered dietitian, which gave me really good clinical experience anyway. And after that, I started working in a hospital as a clinical dietitian, as you might or might not know. Hi, this is Amanda, dietitian from hospital. And I was just on this path of becoming a doctor. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my clinical experience, then I'm gonna take my prerequisites, and then I'm going to take my MCAT and then go to med school and blah, 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 blah. I already started studying for the MCAT. I was like 2 months in. I've taken the prerequisites I needed. I stopped working in the hospital so that I could make time to study for the MCAT, and that was fine. Like I am fully aware of what I'm capable of, very confident in my ability to achieve and to succeed when it comes to academics, when it comes to work. But I, at the same time, was going through some skin issues, and this is where like PA comes in. I didn't really understand what was happening with my skin. It's like never ever broken out like this before. So I went to go seek out an allergist because I saw a dermatologist previously and I got creams, but they just didn't really do much for me. So I went to go see an allergist. Maybe I was allergic to something in my environment. And the provider that I saw there was like, it looks like an eczema flare-up and I don't want to do an allergy test on you if you are flaring up with eczema because it'll just irritate your skin more. So let's just manage your eczema. We'll do the allergy test. And she said that she specialized in both, so she could do both for me. And I was like, okay, that's weird because you're like kind of young looking, and I know that if you want to do, at least I think if you want to do allergy and dermatology, you have to do 2 separate residencies. So that's crazy. Anyway, as I left and went to the pharmacy to pick up the prescription creams, I looked in the paper and it said PAC, and I stopped and I thought about it and I was like, wow, like this person was a physician assistant. What are you eating? Hey. Hey. Okay. So then I started asking a lot of questions, and I had never considered anything other than being a doctor because I had this one-track mind to get to medical school. But I realized that there are a lot of ways to get the things that I wanted in life. And the things that I wanted in life were to be happy, enjoy the time that I have, to help other people, and well, I want to do medical missions and I want to provide primary care. So I'm gonna leave off there in that story and tell you the rest in a bit because she is going crazy. I need to wash the oil out of my hair. I'll see you in a bit. You know, one of the best things in life is when you think you're done with your coffee and you look down and you're like, oh wait, there's more coffee. All right, so where did I leave off from? I want to give a disclaimer though that I know that PAs are not doctors. Just because they're called, they have the name physician in the name, which, so right now it's physician assistant. It's currently in the process of changing to physician associate. Yeah, I'm well aware that physician assistants don't do the same thing as physicians, and they aren't nearly as qualified as physicians, don't have that in-depth knowledge the way that physicians do. So well aware of that. So from that experience that I got at the allergist office, I did more digging. I worked with physician assistants before in the hospital, and other people that I know are going to the physician assistant career, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great for you, but I really wanted to just be a doctor. Now realizing that I think I had a conveyor belt mind, or I was like stuck on a conveyor belt of, okay, I set my mind to do this thing and I'm going to do it, not realizing or not thinking about other possibilities, because like there are things that I want to do in my life that I feel I had to put on hold for a very long time because I had this bigger goal in front of me. And really I had this bigger goal in front of me because I wanted to do things like treat and diagnose patients, especially from a primary care standpoint, conduct or be part of medical missions and provide care in that way, on a more broad scope than just dietetics, because I do want to talk about nutrition, but I also want to be able to prescribe something if necessary, or create a care plan, do sutures or something like that. Things that dietitians don't do that are really out of their scope. I want to do those other things as well. I realized that wanting to go into medical school, a big part of it was kind of pride to see if I can actually do it, and like I don't want to have to test myself to do that. Like I already know I could do it if I really, really wanted to. And this isn't me like being big-headed. I'm just confident in my abilities, in my intelligence, and in my determination to go do the things that I want to do in my life. It's just that just because I can do something doesn't mean that I have to. So with that, and in talking to physician assistants and doctors about their career choices, I realized that all the things that I wanted to do can fit perfectly into the PA career. I didn't want to have to go through the stress and the residency time just for that pat on my back, just for that little ego boost, what it felt like to me. And again, I don't care about calling the shots or being the boss. I just want to enjoy the time. Physician assistants practice medicine with the supervision of a physician. They take comprehensive histories, perform complete examinations, order and interpret laboratory tests, diagnose and treat illnesses, develop treatment plans, counsel family members of the patients and the patients themselves, perform minor procedures and assist in surgeries. I've worked with enough doctors in the clinical and outpatient setting enough, as well as having physician family members, to know that that's not really the path that I want for my life. It's not the kind of work that I want for my life. And I realized that I can tie everything together, maybe with just a little bit of compromise, but all the things that I want to do in life, and also have and raise a family. And not that doctors don't do that, obviously. And I don't know, I want to be more involved than I see myself being involved if I were a physician. I'm not trying to persuade you of anything, really. I hope you know that. Like, I'm not trying to make a point for PA over an MD or an MD over PA. I just I'm explaining my reasoning and why I want to do this. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt. It might be true for myself, but not true for other people, or maybe not true for yourself. So yeah, I just thought about the comments that might come from that. I don't know where I'm going with this. This is why I wanted to do this video in parts, because I know that I would forget what I'm talking about or run off in tangents. So I will leave this part with saying that I just wanted to have my simple, happy life and do the work that I know I can do, but also still indulge in my hobbies and passions, like making content and, you know, talking about nutrition, making nutrition content, and yoga, and being outdoors, and now taking care and playing with Kiara, who I have to feed right now. I think it's really funny how dogs just automatically know when it's time for food. Sit down. Good girl. Hi, okay, I fed Kiara and I'm just doing some computer work. I just posted a graphic on pumpkin seeds on my nutrition page. I changed my Instagram also. One thing you'll know about following me is that I change a lot of things really fast out of nowhere. Also, random bit, my parents just cannot, like, my parents are just like not sure why out of the blue I changed my career path. My mom, I recently heard from my sister, my mom told my sister that I don't want to be a doctor because I wanted a dog. Where is she? She's just playing. Mind you, I got Kiara after I finished applications. So just to reiterate, like, I'm not trying to persuade anybody of their career choice or say that one career is better than the other. I think both are needed. I just wanted to add the bit that I did have some plans for myself, like, oh, I'll be like a plant-based doctor and do all these great things. But things happened in my life, or things changed, and I realized that I don't really feel like that deep urge to go forth and create this incredibly huge wave of change. And I don't know, I just don't have, I don't know how else to explain it. I just don't have the ambition to be that person anymore. My only ambition at this point is to have fun in life and enjoy and like impact people's lives the way that still helps me keep my peace. To some people it might seem selfish, I understand that. And to others it might, I don't know what it might look like to you. But the way that I see it in my head is I just wanna be happy and I wanna live my simple, happy life. I want to have a family and I just want to enjoy. And I want to use my gifts. I'm doing laundry, so that's the background. I just want to use my gifts and my talent in a way that is useful, but that doesn't take precedence over the things in my life that are more, you know, more filled with love. I feel a lot more at peace with this decision. So there's this breakfast that I make pretty much every morning, and it's just, and I always start off by stewing some apples, and then I add oats to it, then boiling water, and then, I mean, like, it's oatmeal. I don't know why I'm walking you through it, but this is just what I'm doing with my life. Hot, oh, fuck. So for my almond butter, I mix it with a little bit, and this is my coffee mug because save dishes. Okay, save dishes over here. I mix my almond butter with a little bit of water to make it saucy so that I can just get this nice drizzle on top of my oats. Honestly, it really doesn't matter most of the time because I just top my oats with a lot of stuff anyway. But I really like having the even spread of almond butter in my oats and not like a big chunk that I have to like scrape at and then eat. I don't know, I just like my tastes all distributed in one bowl. All right, now that I have my breakfast, which is right here, oatmeal, I'm going to answer some questions from Instagram about the whole thing, just in case I missed any points. Not a question, but I just started PA school and I couldn't be happier that I switched to. I also got another one saying, MD here, telling you that you made the right decision. And I wanna say that for some people it is the right decision, and for other people it's not, because it really just depends on what you want to do with your life. Remember, it's your life, no one else is living it, no one else gets to spend your time, like you spend your time. One of the biggest things that I thought about in my switch is that like time and attention are two of our most valuable assets in life. You don't get them back. Attention is valuable because attention is embedded within time, and time is like, you don't get it back. That sentence that I just said, like that time frame is just, it's gone now, you know? The moment that we have is the present moment, and we don't get, like, we have a limited amount of present moments in our life. And if I already know what it is that I want to do, I want to save as much time as I can to live the life that I feel would be most fulfilling to me.
Okay, you guys heard that right. I combined both and most.
I feel would be most fulfilling to me.
I guess they both go.
In my professional as well as in my personal life. And this just seems like, again, the best compromise for all avenues. How to emotionally accept your choice after the dream prep investment in the MCAT/MD route. Honestly, the only thing that was emotionally stressful was telling my parents, who are not from the United States. Like, they migrated here and they had hopes of having a doctor in the family, and they were like hyping themselves and me and everyone else around us that I would be the doctor of the family and we're finally gonna have a doctor. I'm sure some of you guys can relate. It's interesting that everyone else who I've told, including my siblings, my cousins, they were all like, yeah, you should do PA. PA is a great choice. That's awesome. Like, I'm happy for you. The only people who weren't supportive, and I feel like are still kind of trying to make peace with the fact that I'm not going to be a doctor anymore, are my parents. And that was probably the hardest thing, because I had to kind of tell them that their dream was not going to happen. As disheartening as that might be as a parent, I just can't live my life the way that they want me to live it. I have this life, and I hardly think that I'm doing them a disservice by continuing to go onto further education and becoming a medical professional. It's just hard to come to grips with the fact that they weren't excited and they weren't proud of the fact that I made this decision for myself. Although they will say that they support me no matter what I do, their reaction to me was very much like, of your siblings and of the people that we know, you're the one with the talent and the gift to do it. And I honestly just felt like, okay, are you telling me that I'm wasting everything that I have to be a PA so that I could live a happy life? I just feel like they didn't understand it. They didn't really get my transition. So that was like really the biggest emotional wall that I had in this decision. When it comes to classes, I didn't really have to waste too much for that, and so that wasn't like a big thing to me. After the investment in the MCAT route, everything that I've done so far has been in such a small time frame, and like this time frame, it pales in comparison to what I would go through if I went through med school and decided like, oh, I don't think I really want to do this. So for the MCAT, like, I studied for 2 months, but I mean, it's not really a big deal to me. I can't get that time back, but at the same time, I think I needed that to get to the point where I am today. I think I needed all those setbacks and all like the wasted time, which wasn't really wasted. It was all just kind of evidence for myself that I wanted to do something different. So I inherently just made it a positive for myself. Because of COVID, I got a full refund on my MCAT date, which I would have taken this weekend. I didn't get a refund for some of my study resources, and then I got like a half refund for another one. And again, that money is, it might have been a lot, but it's not as much as like going $300,000 in debt for med school, or just paying that much money for med school. Another thing that I want to highlight is in the event that I do decide that I want to become a doctor, I have the option to do so. I just don't think that I'm backing myself into any corner by choosing the PA route. There are bridges from PA to DO, or I'm sure there are some for PA to MD, but I haven't looked that far. I just understand that if I made the wrong decision in choosing the PA route, well, like, it ended up being a right decision anyway, because that decision that I make led me to really knowing myself and understanding that maybe I wanted to do something different. But you never know until you try. And this is a big lesson that I've learned, is that all the wrong decisions we make typically end up being right decisions in our journey, because we take those wrong decisions and all the bad outcomes and turn them into lessons for ourselves to learn and grow and apply to the next one, or maybe the next one if we don't learn soon enough. So that's a big way that I've been able to make peace with this decision, is that, well, if it's wrong, it's wrong, and then I just go towards the thing that I know is right, because if I didn't make the wrong choice, then I wouldn't know what the right choice was. But in my heart and my head and in my soul, I feel like this is the right choice, but we will see. The next question is PA school less cutthroat or deadly than med school because I'm considering being a PA? I don't think it's any less, or I don't think it's any more. I think they're just two different things. I know that PA school is definitely challenging and hard, and people cry, as with a lot of programs. I just think that it's different. If you want to go to med school to be a physician and go to med school. But if you want to be a PA, be a PA. They're not equivalent and they're not gonna fulfill you equally. The main difference is that PAs are not independent practitioners and typically, again, work under a supervising physician. I'm okay with that. I grew up as the youngest child. I had loud and expressive siblings, and I really have no problem with taking the back seat. Not that I'm trying to minimize myself, but I can find a happy place no matter where I go. I'm usually flexible with changes, but if it's something crazy like put them on a carnivore diet, you know I'm not about that. But with most things, I'm very flexible and I'm good with compromising, so I don't see that as a problem. So those are the main questions that were on Instagram that I didn't already answer in my previous talks. I'm going to eat my breakfast now that it has cooled down a bit, and see you guys in a bit. Oh my goodness. Just to kind of wrap the whole thing up here, I'm currently waiting to hear back from schools that I applied to, hopefully get some acceptances, but I will take you guys along that. Excuse me, ma'am, there's no more food left. I feel really good about this decision. I feel more at peace with myself and with like my projected life, and I'm really excited to see what comes. I'm going to be still seeing patients. If you want to work with me, please check out my website. It will be in the description below. With that said, I hope you're all having a wonderful morning, noon, day, or night wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Bye.